Friends, hello, come on in. Grab a seat if you haven't already got one. Grab a drink if you haven't already got one. Be comfortable. Grab a pen and notebook. I'm really looking forward to sharing with you some great, powerful tips to get under the surface of your clients or potential clients' mindset and get into the deep layers of helping them really take more action in their life. I think you'll agree that most of us want to help people improve their lives. We want to help people improve the quality of their life, take more action, take better action, and have a more amazing experience on this planet, right? So that requires influence. Now, why is influence so important? Well, there are lots of areas in business where influence is so important. I want to talk about four main areas, and that is sales, marketing, presenting, and copywriting in your content. So those are the four areas that I help people with, and I help people get influential in those areas. Now let's look at the definition of influence. Influence is not manipulating, it's not even convincing, it's not trying to persuade or twist someone's arm. It's actually helping someone to get more of what they want. Positive, ethical, authentic influence is helping someone improve their quality of life, have a better experience in their day-to-day life, and help them solve problems and get the solution they want. So I love studying influence. I love researching it. I love reading about it, listening to books about it, and practicing my influence skills. And that's why this group is called Amplify Your Influence. It's about turning up like a volume switch. I don't know if you've seen my big megaphone thing, but it's about amplifying, really amping up your ability to influence people. If you know how to influence people, you're free. You have it made, my friend. You can go anywhere in the world and never ever have to rely on anyone ever again, if you don't want to make money. Because if you can get on the other side of influence, you will always have money in your bank account. You will always be impacting people's lives and really making a difference and doing what you're here on the planet to do, like actually being in your purpose, making a difference, contributing, serving, and ultimately having a life of freedom, having the flexibility, having the fun, the joy, everything that you desire in life. Influence is such a powerful skill, and that's why I've really made it the one thing that I want to master in my life. And what I want to talk to you about in this specific training is how to be more influential in your content. So that could be your sales, it could be any aspects of your marketing and presenting. Presenting includes webinars, workshops, videos. Sales includes one-to-one, one-to-many. It could be selling on a video. It could be selling live. It could be sitting down and having a sales conversation with someone. If we can look at our language patterns, if we can look at our tonality, the way we say things, what we say, our body language, and make sure that that's at peak level of influence, we're going to have more success in our sales, our marketing, our copywriting, our presenting, our communication skills. So that's what it's all about tonight. Those of you who have joined me live, hello. I just wanted to say hey. Hi, Trish. Good to see you on here. Hi, Marie. Hi, Kath. Hi, Christina. Good to see you. Where are you guys tuning in from? I always love seeing comments, and I love it when you drop any form of interaction, so it doesn't feel quite so much like a monologue. So feel free to write comments as I'm going. I always love to know what's helpful for you, what's relevant for you, what's actually going to make a difference in your business and help you get more engagement, more followers, more clients ultimately. So please feel free to write to me as I'm going through, and I answer all questions personally, and I reply to every single comment. So I really appreciate that. So drop me some likes, some emojis, some where you're joining me from. And if you've got any questions about influence, how to be more influential, I also love talking about influence. It's one of my main favorite topics. So I'm going to dive in. If you've got a pen and paper, write these down. 3 powerful ways to make your content more influential. Number 1, you want to paint a clear, specific, vivid experience for your client, for your reader, for your viewer, of what they're currently experiencing. I'll say that again. Number one is paint, and we're actually going to paint two things. One is a clear, specific, vivid experience of what that person is currently going through. What are they experiencing? For example, you might start talking about what they're currently seeing in their life as a result of this problem that you can help them solve. So what are they seeing? What are they hearing? Maybe they're hearing their partner saying, just go back and get a job. They might be hearing themselves saying, what's wrong with you? Why can't you lose weight? Why can't you grow your business? Why can't you sort out your taxes? Whatever it is. What are they hearing? What are they feeling? Are they feeling like lead? Are they feeling like a pit in their stomach? Are they feeling their heart racing? Are they feeling a pressure on their shoulders? You know, what are they actually feeling? What are the emotions? And not just listing them out, you know, stress, anxiety, fear, doubt, but actually bringing them to life, painting them. And I don't mean just visually, like painting a picture. We get this picture of a visual experience, but we experience things through all of our senses, you know, our six senses, or five, depending on your belief system. But we certainly see things, hear things, feel things, smell things, and taste things. And any of those five things, and you can talk about intuition as well, can be used in your content to bring it to life. So rather than saying, are you struggling with fear? Are you struggling with anxiety? There's no real painting of that picture. But if you said something very specific, very clear, very vivid, you might say, do you go to open up your net bank and your heart starts racing and your palms start getting sweaty because no one's paid you? And maybe your solution is some kind of payment system. Or you might say, do you swipe the card to go into the gym? You walk in, the music's pumping, you can smell the sweat, you can see people running on a treadmill, and you just sense a feeling of heaviness because you don't know where to start. Maybe you're a personal trainer. So I'm just giving some examples of how you can actually do this. Bring it to life through what's actually happening through their five senses. So first of all, paint that experience of what they're currently going through, because that's going to stop the scroll. That's going to engage them. That's going to attract them, get their attention and hook them in. And they're like, yeah, she gets me. He gets me. That's exactly what I'm feeling. Oh my gosh. And it's in my language, right? It's not just these kind of listed out words that don't have any emotion, don't have any kind of mwah to them, right? So first of all, we paint about what they're doing, and then we start painting where they want to be. So we start creating for them this beautiful experience of where they want to be. And you don't just say, do you want to be wealthy? Do you want to be fit? Do you want to be slim? Do you want to be happy? You actually make it really come to life. So what are they going to see, hear, feel when they've got that solution specifically? And this is where a lot of people go wrong. They're not specific enough. They're very general. So this is where you see things like, do you want to be the best you can be? Do you want to fulfill your potential? Do you want to move forward in life? Are you stuck? It's nothing, you can't grab that. So if you can put actual nouns, then it really brings it to life for people. So any type of feeling, any type of, and remember, some people are more visual, some are more kinesthetic, some are more auditory. So if you list all of them, you're kind of covering everyone, right? How are we doing, team? Hey Mel, hey Emily, hey Kath. Oh, you're from Berry. Awesome, nice. I haven't been there. Love to come. Hi George, joining us from the other side of the world. Hi Marie in New Zealand. Great to see you. How's the weather? It's been pretty nice here in Sydney. Oh, hi Vince. So Marie is joining with Vince. It's so nice to meet you on the course. Cool. Trisha's at home. Nice. Okay, so number one is paint. Paint a clear, specific, vivid picture of what they don't want, and then what you can offer them. Problem, solution. Number two is pepper. And I want you to imagine, you know, that those restaurants that have the really massive, like, look at me peppers, those massive peppers. What we're going to pepper is relevant stories and examples. relevant stories and examples. So everyone's posting how-to content. Everyone's posting 3 steps, 5 steps, and I do too. This is 3 ways because it does appeal to the brain. But you've also got to pepper in personal stories, examples, bring it to life. And when I was trained as a presenter, what we got taught is kind of like a left brain, right brain. This is one of the courses. I've done 4. One of them, I can't even remember which teacher it was, taught about a windscreen wiper technique. I think it originally came from Brian Tracy, where you go left brain and you talk about logic, data, facts, stats, and then you come over and you bring it to life. Stories, emotions, anything kind of creative, anything where you give examples, and you just kind of windscreen wiping. So when I say pepper, that's why I said get a really big pepper, and it's not just like a little sprinkling of seasoning and the rest of it's just facts and stats. It's actually about equal, because most of society is actually 50-50. If you think about your ideal clients, they might be more left brain or more right brain, depending on what you do. So for example, if you're in IT, if you are in finances, engineering, something like that, you might have more of a left brain dominant audience. If you're more into the arts, music, theatre, dance, those types of things, you might have more audience that are more heavy on the right brain. But typically you might have about 50-50, especially if you haven't really niched down yet. So we want to make sure that we cover everyone, so everyone gets something out of it. But regardless of whether your viewer or your reader is more left or right brain dominant, you always want to bring it to life through stories and examples. So every time you give a fact, back it up with a personal story. Every time you give some kind of 3-point or 5 or 7 ways, give personal examples of how you actually do it. And number 3 is positioning. I don't know why I did that weird. Positioning. And the position you want to take is as expert and authority of the solution. I was sharing tonight in my program with the people in there that a lot of people say to me that they get a little bit nervous about positioning themselves as the authority, because it can sound maybe a little bit scary, a little bit like, oh, that's a lot of pressure, it's big responsibility, there's lots of people that are experts, I don't want to try and say that I'm better, maybe they're not good enough thing comes up. So if you ever feel like that, remember you're not saying you're any better, you're not saying you know more than other people, you're not saying that, oh, they know there and I'm here and I know so much more. It's more about that you really are the authority on this solution, the specific solution. And that's why niching deep is really powerful, because you can be the authority over that solution rather than trying to, cover everyone. But that's another subject. I've got other training videos on niching. But really, in your content, so think social media posts, blogs, videos, anywhere that you're writing or speaking, you want to make sure that you show people that you're credible. So always talk about your experience, your knowledge, your skills. And you can do this in a humble, grounded way that doesn't come across as big noting or, trying to be more than you are. But you can humbly and genuinely, authentically talk about why you are the expert in this. And that's when people will actually listen to you. That's when you can influence them, because you're not saying, oh, hey, I'm just going to give you some tips. You're saying, in my experience, like the reason I can openly talk so much about influence is that I've had business for the last 17 years. I've had various businesses. I've had to attract my own clients. I've had to really learn influence. I've invested over $100,000 in business skills and personal professional development, and learned from some of the best teachers in the world. And so I feel very fortunate that I've been able to sit under the teachings of some of these masters. And really what that means is for you is that I can bring you some of the best things that I've learned and how to put them into your content, your sales process, your marketing, your communication. And so what I just did there is positioning. But what I did, and I learned this from Ben Harvey, who is my favorite teacher in the whole world. He talks about when you talk about yourself, you go low, humble energy. When you talk about what that means for the person, you raise your energy. So you say, you know, I've been so blessed to have done this and learnt this. What that means for you, you start speaking louder, and because I'm talking about you, right? So if you get it the other way around and you raise your energy when you're talking about yourself, that can come across as, well, it's not influential. People put their guard up, their resistance comes up, and it's all over. So I want you to think about your next piece of content, how you can kind of paint it with clear, specific visual, kinesthetic, auditory, any kind of smell, taste, anything that brings it to life, how you can paint it, how you can pepper it with relevant stories, examples, make it interesting. And number 3, how can you really bring your positioning as you're the one, you're the prize, you're the one that knows what you're talking about, and they get to experience that wisdom, that knowledge that you've worked for, and that means that you can help them even more. So that's 3 ways to be more influential in your content. Does anyone have any comments, questions, thoughts, ideas? What sunk in? What was your favorite? What one are you going to apply? Because it's all about applying, right? It's all about taking action. Good to see you, Michelle. Hi. Hey, Claire. How you doing? So have a think about how you can apply that in your next piece of content. What I'd recommend is, as soon as you get off here, is to actually just create a very simple piece of content and just be thinking through those 3 things, because it brings it to life, makes it more relevant to who you're talking to. It hooks them in, it helps them keep reading, and ultimately it's going to help them to actually want to take the next step towards you, which could be to your call to action. Every piece of content should have a call to action, which might be something free, but it's going to lead them through your funnel towards being a paid client. If you want more copywriting hacks and tips and tricks and secrets and everything else, you're welcome to book a session with me. I offer a free 30-minute clarity session. If you haven't had one before, I'll pop the link to that. Also, what are we, the 11th of March, on the weekend, this weekend, 14th, 15th of March, I'm running a 2-day content creation workshop. It's called How to Create Content That Connects. And you're basically doing it in the room. So I'm giving you templates, I'm giving you formulas to actually sit and create content with me and a small group of people in the room. There's a couple of spaces left for that, so I'll share the link with you as well. But it's nearly booked out, so if you do want to come to that, check out the link. Otherwise, that's it from me. Hi, Lisa. You might need to catch the replay. I'm just finishing up, but you can catch the replay. Just hashtag replay if you're watching the replay. Let me know which was your favorite one. Lisa says, Marie says positioning stands out for me. Yeah, girl, own your positioning. You know, you've invested all this time and money and resources into becoming the expert, into being someone that you can really help, someone who can really help people get a result. So own it. And don't be afraid to push it forward, you know. Sometimes we hold back a little bit because we don't want to, you know, be up ourselves, or, you know, that whole tall poppy syndrome and blah, blah. But remember, if we don't position ourselves correctly, that person won't. They're not going to raise our positioning for us. Only we can do that. So I hope that's been really helpful. I'll post the links if you want to grab a session with me and how to actually go through your own content personally, have a conversation about that. Or if you do want to join me on the weekend in Sydney where we're getting it done, I'll pop the link in there as well. Have a beautiful evening or day, depending when you're watching this, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.